Today I'm here to talk to you about Natural Dividends Developing Plastic-Free Habits mission. If you've been following us for a while, you probably know about our negative net hiking mission. This tags along, but in a different way. This is something that you can do at home, something that you can practice in your day-to-day life. And the Developing Plastic-Free Habits, as the name states, is trying to find items in the household that are single-use plastic or plastic that is going to be replaced fairly regularly, and finding a alternative that is a non-plastic, more sustainable solution. So the reason behind the mission is the way that we are currently using plastics in the world is not sustainable. Some of you that follow us may know that only about 9% of what you put in the recycler, and that's what actually makes it into the recycler, is recycled. The majority of plastics that we're using are not able to be recycled. So if you're lucky, they end up in a landfill where it takes up to 100 years or more for them to degrade. But there's also a huge problem with plastics polluting our environment. Out in the woods, on the street, or in ever-growing quantities in our oceans. While companies need to be the main stakeholders and take control of creating that change, you can start to create that change and vote with your dollar and support companies that are not using single-use plastic in order to help turn the tide. When looking for things to replace in your life that are plastic, really try to get the most bang for your buck, and that's going to be when you're thinking about items that you use pretty regularly. Maybe you're buying them a couple times a month or multiple times a year. If you can replace that item with something that isn't a plastic item, you're really going to make a difference when it comes to keeping plastic out of our landfills and out of the natural environment. So one of the first things that I did was take everything that I'm using in my bathroom and then switch it over to a non-plastic alternative. So here you've got an example of a bamboo toothbrush versus your traditional plastic toothbrush. This works great and it's actually cheaper than the plastic toothbrushes that I was buying before. Here's an example of the toothpaste that I was using before, and I've replaced it with a Simply Suni peppermint toothpaste that is on our Amazon shopping list, and this is a powder-based toothpaste that feels great on the teeth, doesn't have a chemical taste afterwards, and you can see right there it is zero waste packaging. So once you're done with this toothpaste, you can compost it if you want, or you can throw it away. Next, another item that you would find in the bathroom is your floss. I've replaced this with a silk floss that actually comes in a glass container, and once you're done with this, you can actually just replace it with refillables that come in a cardboard box. Again, probably a little bit more expensive than the traditional floss, but nothing that is too aggressive. Then we've got pomade here that I'm using for my hair. I used to use something similar to this. I actually found a all-natural pomade that I was able to switch over to. Again, it comes in a non-plastic. This is a tin can. I'm actually probably going to reuse this once this is finished, and to put the toothpaste in. So that will be a great way to reuse that. Here we have the soap that I was using before. Simply replace this with a soap bar. Comes in a cardboard box, and honestly smells great, and you decrease on the amount of plastic that you're going to be using. Another item here is the deodorant. I was using this item before and replaced it with Ethic. They've actually got a line of a lot of non-plastic, zero waste items. Most of these items I would use once every month, if not a little bit more frequently. I would go through it and then I'd be buying a new one. So just by replacing these simple products, one of the products that I was using once a month is 12 pieces of plastic for a given year that I'm no longer putting into the waste stream, and that I'm actually supporting a company with my money that has sustainability on their minds and is actually doing something to better the environment. That's a great thing when you're doing this, is not only are you taking something that is plastic and taking it out of the stream and no longer creating that waste, you're also using your money to vote for that company and say, hey, I appreciate what you're doing and I'm going to give you my money. As more people and a bigger community start to get involved in that, companies will start to notice and they will start to shift the way that they make their products, and hopefully sustainability will become a bigger thing that they take into account.